Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to review what we've learned about folk tales, and I'm going to show you an example of the assignment that you will be doing when you're finished. So, folk tales. Folk tales come from all over the world. All cultures created these stories. They were created very long ago, and were told orally for entertainment. That means that people told them by mouth. So, before we had TV and internet, people would sit around and tell stories to entertain themselves. There are all types of folk tales. Sometimes they're called folklore. We have tall tales, fables, myths, and legends, and also fairy tales. Each type of these stories has their own characteristics, so these are just a few. In fables, the characters are often animals, and they contain a moral or a lesson for us to learn. Fairy tales often include royalty or kings and queens, princes and princesses, and there's often some type of good versus evil going on. Legends are usually based on a real person, and they're in some type of historical setting, meaning it happened in the past, and they often contain magic. Myths explain how things happen in nature, maybe how the sun rises and sets, and they often have gods and goddesses. Tall tales have exaggerated and larger than life characters. You might see a character who's really tall or really strong or really fast, and usually the problems are solved in a really funny way. You have learned how to retell this year, and we've especially focused on retelling folk tales. So here is an example of a retell done for Cinderella. So there are 4 questions that you will answer. You won't answer them on Cinderella, you will answer them on the story that your teacher asks you to read. This one, though, is done on Cinderella. So the first question is, who are the characters in this fairy tale? We expect answers to be in complete sentences with capitals and periods. The answer to who are the characters in this fairy tale, we put the characters are Cinderella, the evil stepmother, stepsisters, the fairy godmother, and the prince. Remember, a great tip is to restate your question in your answer. So if the question is, who are the characters? I can say the characters are to help me get a complete sentence. Now here comes my retell. I'm going to retell the beginning, the middle, and the end. I'm not going to include every little detail, just the most important things. So what happened in the beginning? Well, Cinderella's father dies. He's left to live with a very mean stepmother and stepsisters. They make her clean and treat her very bad. What happened in the middle? Well, the prince has a ball. The stepmother doesn't allow Cinderella to go, but her fairy godmother gives her a new dress and a carriage with her magic wand. Cinderella goes to the ball and dances with the prince. What happened in the end? Well, Cinderella leaves the ball at midnight and loses her shoe. The prince tries to find her by trying the shoes on all the ladies in the land. He finally finds Cinderella and they get married. So this would be a good retell. So now you need to read or listen to the story that your teacher has asked you to listen to. And when you get to this slide on your slideshow, you will answer these questions with the story that your teacher asks you to read or listen to, not the story of Cinderella. Do your best.